This door hasn't been opened in years. You can hear the time in its hinges. It once belonged to an elderly...
Even the iconic Fuchs wheels couldn't escape the years. Rust has started to creep along the edges, slowly eating away at the shine.
Inside, the years are even more visible. The leather is tired, the headliner is falling, and the gauges are covered in dust. After bringing it back from the junkyard, we push the Porsche into our old workshop. This is where its second life begins. Years of dust and silence wash away in seconds. When we bought this car from the old woman, she said it hadn't seen proper care.
This is where its story truly lives. The flat six that carried her through so many years.
Before we wake the engine, we start with the basics. She told us the car hadn't been started in years, so we're taking every precaution. This seat carried her for decades, through quiet drives and long summers. She told us she hadn't sat here in years.
She told us this was her favorite seat in the house, even more than her living room chair. Lifting it out feels like holding a piece of her history.
This wheel guided her through years of quiet drives and familiar roads. She told us she always felt safe holding it. This bumper protected the car for years, through small scrapes and careful parking. She mentioned she always worried about scratching it.
Underneath the surface, every car tells the truth. She admitted the car sat for years without moving, and times.
She always kept the interior simple and untouched. Now we're carefully opening it up, clip by clip. Every panel comes off. These headlights once lit the roads she knew by heart. She said she avoided driving at night in the later years.
She said these wheels hadn't been off in many years. Every lug we loosen is another step toward renewal.
Brakes are about trust. She told us she always drove gently, never pushing the car too hard. Now we're rebuilding this system carefully.
This engine stayed in place for decades, carrying every memory. This is the moment everything changes. She told us this engine was the soul of the car, and lowering it feels like handling. This turbo gave the car its signature surge of power. She once said she loved how it felt when the boost came alive.
After removing the rust, we smoothed the surface by hand. The old woman told me her husband always said, "Bare metal can't stay exposed for long." She told me the car once lived in a dry garage, safe from moisture. The suspension carried this car through decades of driving. She told me her husband loved long highway trips in it.
This is the moment where the car stands completely exposed. She watched quietly as we loaded it onto the trailer.
She told me her husband used to polish this panel every weekend.
This whale tail made the 930 instantly recognizable. She smiled when she talked about how proud her husband was of it.
This is where power is rebuilt from the inside out. She once told me the engine always felt strong. Each piston carries the story of combustion and motion. She remembered the smooth acceleration her husband loved. Fresh rings mean fresh compression. She once said the engine always felt alive under boost. With each careful instance,
the crankshaft is the heart of the engine's motion. She told me the car always ran smoothly, even after years.
New bearings mean a fresh foundation for the engine. She trusted us to rebuild it properly, not just make it run. Every
This fan housing once faded with age, now it returns in satin black, just as it left the factory.
Restoration isn't just what you see on top, it begins underneath. Every layer of corrosion removed here protects the future of this 930.
These suspension arms carry the weight of performance. Every curve must be protected and perfected.
Now we protect what we rebuilt, sealing the foundation of this 930 for decades to come. Strength underneath means confidence on the road.
Braking is about precision. Even the smallest groove can change performance. With every rotation, this disc returns to smooth, confident control.
Every piston must glide perfectly, smooth, controlled, precise. When this 930 brakes again, it will feel firm, confident, and completely renewed. Fuel delivery must be flawless, no leaks, no compromise. These braided lines ensure this 930 breathes safely and confidently once again. Panel gaps tell the real story. Every millimeter matters. When this door closes perfectly, you know the restoration is on the right path.
Primer brings everything together, sealing the work beneath into one smooth foundation. Soon, this 930 will wear its red once again.
Every drop of water carries away a tiny imperfection, smoothing the surface layer by layer.
The cleanest paint lines are made long before the spray begins. Every edge sealed, every boundary protected.
Guard's red is more than just a color, it is identity. Carefully measured, carefully blended, the exact shade that defined the turbo era of Porsche.
The first coat changes everything. Gray fades away, and Guard's red returns.
The second coat brings depth. The red grows richer, darker, alive under the lights. This is where color becomes character. Now the final shield. Clear and flawless. The surface turns to glass. Every curve reflects.
This spoiler carried her pride for decades. Now, every imperfection is gently erased.
This is the color she chose when she first brought it home. Guard's red. Bold, proud, This is the moment she asked us about the most. Will it run like it used to, she said. Today, its heart is ready to go back home.
She waited years to hear it breathe again. Slowly, carefully, we guide its heart back into place.
Every wire has its place. Every connection matters. This is how we make sure it speaks again, just like it did when she first turned the key. Fuel is its lifeline. One loose fitting could change everything. So we tighten it carefully, making sure it's ready to breathe again. This is what will give it its voice again. Every bolt tightened, every mount secure. This is what keeps it steady on the road. Strong, balanced, secure. She trusted this car for years, and now it's stronger than ever.
These wheels carried her through decades of memories. Seeing them back in place, it feels like the car is standing proud again.
We're almost there.
That final click, it means everything is secure. She trusted this car with her life. Now,
This front end, it's what she fell in love with first. Every line, every curve back in place, it finally looks like her Porsche again.
A proper seal keeps time from touching it again. Every edge protected, every detail restored. She'll never... This is where she watched every mile pass by. Now the gauges are alive again, ready to tell their story once more.
This is where her hands used to rest. Now it feels whole again, ready to be held, ready to be driven. A place to sit, where stories will begin again. Fresh leather, fresh memories, the cockpit comes back to life. Precision in every turn, tightening more than bolts, locking comfort, safety, and craftsmanship into place.
Every line perfectly straight. Every gap measured to precision. This is craftsmanship restored to factory perfection.
Look at that surface, pure liquid glass, no swirls, no imperfections,
Just a deep, flawless Guards Red shine.
Gently now, wipe away the final haze. Watch the surface come alive. This is where the shine reveals its truth.
And now, the first roll forward. Smooth rotation, steady and precise. The legend moves again.
After every bolt, every polish, every careful touch, this is the reward. Rolling forward, beneath.
And here it stands, reborn in Guards Red. A legend from 1977, restored with